Hey everybody, we're back. Okay, we're on to distance learning. We're doing some decimal busting. And this is our lesson for May 20th, which, if I remember correctly, is a Wednesday. And you're probably going, why are we going back to decimal busting? Well, solving equations, whether it's with decimals, fractions, and that, you're going to see next year, the year after, and the year after. So you got to be able to handle them well. So we're doing a little bit of review of going, if I don't like decimals, because I don't like dividing by decimals and multiplying, because then I got to figure out how I got to move the decimal, then let's get rid of them, make them whole numbers or integers if they're negatives, and then let's work from there because that's a little bit easier. So that's our goal. Decimals are important, and let me show you why. So if you look at my picture here, it says on the sign, large sweet tea, $100. So somebody here at McDonald's, okay, said, I don't think the decimal point is important. I think it's supposed to be $1, but they forgot the decimal point. 100, I don't think anybody's buying sweet tea. All right, so here's my bad joke. So my grandfather, he has the heart of a lion, okay? He's got the heart of a lion. And he's also got a lifetime ban from the National Zoo. Don't get it? If he has the heart of a lion, that means he took the heart from a lion. Not a good thing. So they won't let him at the zoo anymore because he takes hearts. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so decimal busting. So we have options when we're solving. You can solve them with the fractions or the decimals, which I know a couple of you guys like to do. So that's okay. If you don't want to bust, that's fine, but you should know how to bust in case they ask you. Or we can eliminate the fractions and the decimals. So this is our review on how to eliminate decimals and make the problem easier. So we're going to do a nice easy one first. So the first thing you need to look at going, I have decimals there, decimals there. How many decimal places is the biggest one in the problem? So I notice I have 2 decimal places here, but I have 3 decimal places here. So I got to figure out what can I multiply by to move it once, twice, 3 times over. Does anybody remember? Yes, Ethan. Yep. So Ethan told me since I've got to move it over 3 times, it's like the tenths, hundredths, thousandths. He said, let's multiply everything times 1,000. So let's do that. So we have 1,000 times 0.085x equals, 1,000 times 36.21. Now you could set it up with one big. You don't have to do it separately like this, but you got to do everything. You could set it up like this times 1,000, and then just distribute to both sides. Either way works. So if we multiply this by 1,000, that means move it over once, twice, 3 times. So I now have 85x. Move it over once, twice, 3 times. Well, since it's way over here, I got to put a decimal placeholder in there. Okay, so a placeholder. So we now have 36,210. Which I know someone's going, well, those are huge. But you have a calculator. Okay, and all we're doing is going, I need to get this 85 off the x. So we divide by 85. And then x equals, so you get on your calculator. If you can do it longhand, practice longhand. 36210 divided by 85 equals 426. And that's it. Okay, so we had 3 decimal places, so we decided to multiply by 1,000, but you got to multiply both sides by 1,000. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so I have 2 decimal places, 2, 2, and 2. So what does that tell us we got to multiply by? Thank you, Elodie. Yes, we got to multiply by 100. So we're going to put parentheses around here, and we're going to multiply everything times 100. So here we go. 100 times this, move it over once, twice, that's 4x. 100 times that, move it over once, twice, that's 16. 100 times that, move it over twice, that's 6. multiply it by 100, move it over twice, that's 8x. Isn't that problem much easier than that problem? Yeah, much easier. Okay, so let's get solving. Can I combine these two terms? Nope, can't do that. Can I combine these two terms? So now it's moving day. So let's get all the x's to one side first, then let's move the numbers to the other. So since this x is smaller over here, I'm gonna move it over there. So let's subtract 4x's, subtract 4x's. So that's now 0. 16 equals 6 plus 4x's. All the x's are over here, so let's start moving numbers over. Let's get rid of the easy one. Subtract 6. So 4x equals 10. And then how do we undo multiplication? Divide by 4. So x equals 2.5. And that's it. So again, make sure you distribute the 100 to each piece. Move all the x's to one side, move all the numbers to the other side, divide to undo your multiplication, and whammo, you're good. Okay, let's try one more before I put you on your own. Okay, so I have two decimal places. 2, 1, 2, and 2. So what do we multiply by? Yep, we multiply by 100. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this by 100, move it over twice. So I have 1,692. Multiply by 100. I have negative 424x. Multiply by 100. 1, 2. Need a placeholder. Make sure you bring down that equal sign. That's why I have this line here. There's that side and there's this side. Move it over twice. So I now have minus 1,228. Bring down your addition. Move it over twice. We now have 246x. Okay, so we've moved the decimal over twice on every one. Now let's combine like terms and start moving stuff. Well, I can't, that's an x, that's not an x. Can't touch it. I have an x, I have an integer, we have a whole number. We can combine those two. So let's combine these two. So now I bring this down, 246x. Put those two together, and we should come out to be about 988. Bring this down, negative 424x, and bring that down, 1692. And you can double check to see if I did my math right. Okay, now we're going to, I have an x over here, there, I can't combine those. So I'm going to move this negative x over to here. So I'm going to add 424 x's. Add 424 x's. So that's 0. Bring this down. Bring that one down, negative 988. Let's add these two together. That's 10, carry my 1, that's 7. Okay, so that's 670x. I have my x's over here, so let's get rid of this. Let's do the opposite. Remember, everything we're doing is opposite operations. That was subtraction, I'm adding. Now I see subtraction, I'm adding. So we have 670x equals 8 and 2 is 10, carry the 1. That's 10 plus 8, that's 18, carry the 1. That's 10, that's 16, carry the 1, and that's a 2. How do I undo multiplication? Yes, we divide by 670, divide by 670. Okay, so you can get on your calculator or you can do it longhand, but it simply comes out to be 4. So a little review. we distributed, multiplied everything by 100, got rid of all the decimals. Combined like terms, moved over this negative 424 by adding a positive 424, got rid of the negative 988 subtraction by doing addition, and then we divided to undo multiplication. Okay, your turn. Okay, so I now want you to do this problem. So you have, and I'll write it a little bit bigger, but it's pretty clear. 13.590 minus 4.356m equals 2.46 plus 8.234m minus 1.46. Okay, so I want you to take care of that. You can pause the video right now. Okay, now you've had some time, so hopefully you came back. So let's go to the next slide. So I'm hoping you multiplied by 1,000 because there's 3, 3, 2, 3, 2. You changed them all to regular numbers. And if you notice, I highlighted these two because I'm going to combine those two. So that equals now 1,000. Now I'm going to move the m's, okay, by adding, taking this negative m, adding it, moving it over to that side. So I now have the 13,590, still have the 1,000, still have that there. I'm going to subtract the 1,000, get it over here. Now I have 12,590m. Undo multiplication, we're going to divide. So m equals 1. So hopefully you got 1 when you did it. So again, this is our little review for decimal busting. Hopefully that works for you. You can play it again if you want to slow it down. Have a good week.